Hi and welcome to ChartMill. In today's video I'm going to share with you a new swing trading screen based on the Bollinger Bands indicator. If you don't know what Bollinger Bands are, you can check out our documentation center on the homepage. There is some brief explanation available and a direct link to a full article on Bollinger Bands on Investopedia. Back to our stock screener. So as I've already mentioned, it is a swing trading screen. For those of you who are holding positions either long or short for at least more than one trading session, usually just a couple of days or at max some weeks. Although the screen is based on daily charts, it is also very useful for day traders. They can use these daily setups and search for precise entries on an intraday chart when new trading session begins. First, I'll go over the screen settings in ChartMill, and then I'll show you a very straightforward strategy you can use with the screen. As always, we will start with some general basic filters. These are meant to make sure that we only keep those stocks with sufficient volatility and liquidity. As you can check on the screen, we have about 19,000 shares in our database, and I start with the basic filters under the General tab. So for the exchange, US only, as I've mentioned already in previous videos, I use different basic settings for the US and the European stock market. A minimum price of $5 and an average trading volume at least 500,000 measured over the last 50 trading days. And for this screen, I want to exclude all ETFs. With these basic filters, we still have about 1900 shares left. Next, I select the Performance tab where I choose the price versus SMA setting. Price above SMA 200 if I want the screen for long setups, and price below SMA 200 if I want a Bollinger Band screen for short setups. So let's start with long setups only and select price above SMA 200. Under the Indicator tab, there is already a Bollinger Band section available, but I'm not going to use it for the screen because I want to screen for reversal patterns. And those involve not only the most recent closing price, but also the closing price of the previous day. And to define a set of specific rules, I use the Custom tab. This is where all the magic happens. So in this section, my first filter determines that the price of the previous close has to be lower than the lower Bollinger Bands. So left hand side of the comparison, select Type, Property, Previous Close, the comparison itself smaller than, and then the right hand side of the comparison, select Type, Property, Lower Bollinger Band, and then add Filter. The next filter defines the reversal by stating that the current price must be higher than the high of the previous close. So again, the left hand side of the comparison, select Type, Property, Current Price, the comparison itself bigger than, and the right hand side of the comparison, select Type, Property, higher than previous close. Push the button Add Filter. Let's take a look at the results. As you can see, we now have some very decent long setups of stocks in a long-term uptrend that have retraced to the lower Bollinger Bands. From that level, price has risen again as a possible sign of reversal. If you are looking for short setups, of course we have to change the filters. So first of all, I've deleted the two custom filters, as you can see over here. We are in the Performance tab, and the first filter we have to change is the price versus SMA. So for short setups, I don't want the stocks with a price above the SMA 200, but only the stocks with a price below the SMA 200. Then again, we go to the custom filter, Property. So the previous close has to be higher than the upper Bollinger Band. Add Filter. And the next custom filter again defines the reversal sign. So the current price, property, current price has to be lower than the previous low price. Add filter. Again, we have 5 results. And now we can see some stocks which are clearly in a downtrend. Reversal pattern. And some very nice short setups. A gap. Hudson Pacific, for example, HPP, is a very nice short setup, heavy volume, heavy sell volume. It has a reversal. Previous close was above the upper Bollinger Bands, and now we have a reversal sign. So these kinds of setups is what I'm looking for with this Bollinger screen. So let's take a closer look to one of these short setups. Like I've said, it's a pretty straightforward strategy I'm going to use with these Bollinger Bands screen. So I'm in the stock charts section of ChartMill, and we have the chart of Hudson Pacific Properties. So let's assume I want to go short if price falls below this last candle, and the low is at 23.85. Now, how much shares can I sell? To calculate, I will use the embedded position sizing tool. You can find the tool over here, position sizing tool. It's a very handy tool. Just click on it. I'm going to drag it over here. My cursor just beneath the last candle. Right click, entry goes here. So the low is 23.85. So I'm going to change this to 23.79. And my exit price, my stop loss, the high is 25.85. So I'm going to change it to 25.91. Percentage risk is 1. My total investment capital is $50,000. So with these values, my total risk will be almost $500. Risk per share 2.12. I can sell 235 shares. My total investment is approximately $5,600, which is 11.80% of my total capital. And I get a warning for my stop distance. If the stop distance, so the difference between the entry and the exit, is below 2, average true range, then I will get a warning signal. As you can see, a very handy tool to manage your risk and position sizing. You can change all these values manually, but there is also another way. If you click on your account, my account, and then you go to the position sizing settings, here you can change the values. Okay. So we have set our entry level and our exit price, stop loss price. Now, to determine the target price, there are, of course, different possibilities. Or you can use a fixed target based, for example, on your risk per share. In this case, our risk per share is 2.12. So you can set a target at 2 or 3 times your risk per share. Or you can base your target on the swing low, the most recent swing low, which is about $20. The low here is 19.54, so indeed around $20. Another possibility is a trailing stop loss. If this goes further down, you can trail your stop loss. Or even the opposite band, the lower Bollinger Band as a target. So this concludes this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and you've gained some knowledge, further knowledge about the endless possibilities and screening options of ChartMill. If you like this video, Please consider to give it a thumbs up, and I hope to hear you soon. Bye.